In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace a window regulator with the motor attached on a Jeep Grand Cherokee. To remove the panel, we're going to open up the two connectors right here. There's little covers. Take a small screwdriver, pop that cover open. You can see, you can hold that plastic cover aside, 7mm socket, and we're just going to back that screw off. Get it right out of there. So now the inner handle, we're going to open that up and take this plastic cover out. Phillips screwdriver, we're going to take this screw right out. Set it aside. So now we're going to disconnect that main power switch. Just take a trim tool, pop it up, and basically disconnect that electrical connector. You can pop that red safety tab up like that, and push down on the gray tab, and disconnect it. Now with the trim tool, we're going to take the side panel and we're just going to start pushing these clips, the lock clips that are in there, out. Find where the clip is and pull out. You're going to have to go all the way around and do this. There we go. Now we can really grab it and pull. So the top will just come out forward towards you. Want to disconnect this little tab right here. Push in, push it down. Now we can set this aside. Going to disconnect all the connectors and move this harness out of the way. Push down to that black tab in there, pull it out. Then we have this little white tab, push down, pull that one. Maroon, push down. And then a blue one down here. All right, let's follow this harness over. I'm going to take a trim tool, and take this clip out of the way. Follow it around. Airbag sensor. Push on the tab. Window regulator, the motor. Might just take that right out. Just disconnect that sensor from there. Grab this one. Open this door. So now I see that this goes down in there. Let's see if I can get this connector undone. Oh, there it is. So that goes like that. There's another one. This wire harness goes up. Once we get that out of the way, we'll get that better. And just mount the internal handle, 10mm socket. Just set the bolt aside. And you're going to need to start going all the way around. So we'll start right in the center here and go clockwise. That was 7 total. Set those aside. I'm going to dismount the speaker. That's a T20, 4 mounting screws. That way we can just disconnect it. Push down on that white tab. So before we start unplugging everything here, I'm going to plug the window switch back in because we need to bring that window down. That's why we took the speaker out and open access door so we can get the glass off that regulator. So turn your key into the on position without starting. And you're going to want to lower your window. So we're gonna bring this down just enough to get your hands in there, hopefully. And there's a clip on the back where the glass slides in, and we need to pull those clips so that we can slide the glass up. So now that the window switch is on and you have the power on, you can lower the window. You want to stop when you get to this point with these cutouts. They're oval cutouts, one here and one on that side. And what that is this big white plastic piece is adhered to the glass. That's part of the glass. But you're going to take anything pointy, screwdriver, and you're going to bring it in through this hole, and there's a little tab, and you're going to push back on that tab and lift up on the glass. I got that one. Now you're going to go to this side and do the same thing. You might have to do one side more than the other. There we go. Now I already have my suction cups ready. Once it breaks free, I'm going to push the glass up. If you don't have suction cups, you want to get some painter's tape, some tape that won't leave too much adhesive on the glass. There we go. Try to grab your glass evenly, pull it up. Like I said, I have 2 suction cups. Get them in position. I already put glass cleaner on them. Pull taut. That stops the window from falling down on you. All right, so now we can take all the electrical off, so we can take this inner panel off. Any red locks you want to pull up on, push in on the tab, put our switch aside. So the last thing you need to do to take this carrier plate out of the way is disconnect these latch screws. There's 3 of them. So the 3 screws here is a T30, and we're going to take all of them out. That's a Torx 30. Set them aside. Now we can grab this carrier door panel, lift it up. You're going to have to disconnect some things from the inside to get it out the rest of the way. So we're going to take the harness off of the latch by pushing down on that little black tab. Get that harness out of the way. Just follow it through, pull it right out. So now this harness can give us the space we need. So now we just have to disconnect these 2 rods to the latch. You've got a maroon one on the bottom here. So I like to take a pair of needle nose and just give it a little twist. So push and spin like that. There we go. Now you can just pull that rod out. Make sure it's out of the way. Let's do the same to the top, the brown one. See if we can just grab them. Pop the top one off, bottom one off. Now we're clear to get this out. Get out of the way. There is the door carrier. Now to start taking that window regulator off, we have the door carrier out. We have to remove the motor first, and there's 3 mounting bolts, and that is a T20 Torx bit. We're going to take all 3 of them off. Now we can lift right up on that motor and set it aside. Now we can flip the carrier over and we can access the 4 mounting screws. And that is a 7mm socket. Last one. So you have your 3 mounting pins. Let's just squeeze the tabs with a pair of pliers, push them out. There's one. There we go. So now we have our new window regulator with the motor attached, but we do know that you have to take the motor off to assemble it. So I have a Phillips screwdriver. There's 3 mounting screws right here. Set these aside. Now we're going to grab all right, so now we have, make sure you have it so that this piece here is going to go actually like this. So the plastic pieces are up, that's where the glass will sit. You have these little pivots, you have these pivot points that sit in like that. Same with these. And then these pieces go in there. Line that up. All right, let's mount the arms first. So you're going to reuse your 4 mounting screws with a 7mm socket. I'm not going to snug it up until they're all in. Okay, now we're going to pick it up and just push this mounting part for the window right through. There we go. Now I'll turn it over, and there is our window mount, the motor mount. We're going to take our motor, reline it up, take our 3 mounting screws, there's one. If it pops through, it's okay. You're going to end up pulling it back through when you tighten it up. All right, so now let's just push that back through. Oh, it's all nice and it's mounted perfectly. So I'm going to take this connector, put it through that, and we're going to get the window regulator. No, first, latch goes in first. Like that. Now, make sure your harness is out of the way. See if you can get that window regulator in. And now that you have it in place, orange one is the lock. It's kind of tedious, but we have to line that up. Just like that. lock it in. Now we'll take the handle rod, bring that down, lock that in. Perfect. So now we're going to grab that whole harness, because there's one last thing to do before we mount the carrier back up, is this last connector on this whole harness. It's going to go through this little hole, and that attaches to the latch. So I'm going to bring it right through that hole, bring my arm up and around. See if we can bring the latch over to view. There we go. Now you need to line up these. That's a T27. And to lock it, you want to turn it counterclockwise. It was 3 points like that. There we go. All right, so now before we button up the carrier tight, I want to put my 3 mounting screws on this latch, so that way it's centered and everything's good before we button up. Just going to bottom them out. Then I can tighten up the door carrier, which is that big black panel. Okay, so we're going to install our mounting screws or bolts, 10mm socket. I'm not going to tighten them because I want to make sure everything's centered perfectly. And I'm going to go clockwise around. Okay, and then we have the handle itself. Okay, now we can tighten them up. So now we can put our connectors back. The blue was on the bottom, then it went maroon, white, put that in that connector there. That's the speaker harness. It's going to go behind there and attach to the speaker, which you're not going to put in because you've got that regulator. You got to attach the glass, don't forget. Now we can touch the motor. Put that lock on, tuck that up out of the way. Follow this over, lock that, and this. There we go. So now I'm going to undo my suction cups and try to guide the glass down in, and you'll hear it click into those plastic little sleeves. Okay, let's see if the glass is lined up. Hear those 2 clicks? And it's locked in. Now we can close that up. We'll put the speaker back in, connect the speaker, line it up, get those 4 mounting screws. These 4 mounting screws for the speaker are a T20. Put this little black piece on the metal. And now we're ready to put the panel on. So you're going to pull that mirror wire out and around right there. Don't go under the plastic. Make sure it's on the outside and click it in. So we have to connect this connector right there. That lock. Make sure that your lock button is through that little opening. Like that. And what you're doing is lining up these pins right there with the hole. And you have to start from one side. It's not like a normal, what I find a normal interior door panel. And then you've got to work your way around slowly. There we go. You really have to line each one up. Just keep checking periodically, make sure that harness is up through for the window switch. So right in here was that little Phillips screw. And that has this plastic cover, which you can see the design of it. This goes right in that way. Click right in. So this is the screw with the 7mm socket. Yeah, it could be kind of challenging. There we go. The angle of this, you can't even use any power tools. Perfect. Then just take that little clip, cover, snap it down. Now we can put our main window switch on, line up the locks and the pins, slide it on, locks. I have the red lock right here, snap that in place. Just push it down. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.